What is going on, everybody? So today, Friday, was TCG Players Mayhem Sale. I'm not sure exactly when you're going to see this. It might be on Saturday for a lot of you guys, depending on when I upload. But today was the Mayhem Sale, 10% back in store credit. And we had a lot of price fluctuations, not just on sealed product, but also singles. So I want to take a look today at some things that moved a lot in terms of just quantity, and also some things in terms of cards where we saw price increases. And we're going to go in order from OPO1 all the way up to EBO2. So to start off, we have Romance Dawn. This is the white bottom. Not any crazy price increase, but a lot of boxes did end up selling today. You can see you're basically getting about maybe like 5 sales a week, something like that. Today we got, what is that, like 2, 4, 6, 18, 20, probably like around 30-ish sales for white bottom Romance Dawn boxes, all over $400, by the way. Most of them around, that 420, 425 range. You had 12 boxes here sell at $428.94 a piece. So a lot of volume on these boxes. You'll see a trend with some of these sets. Paramount War, same deal. Not any crazy price increase, but May 16th, it started here, 24 boxes. So 2 cases sold at $214.85 per box. Lots of other sales in that range as well. So we probably had closer to 40 Paramount War boxes sell today. OPO5, Awakening of the New Era. This box is back in the 280s all day, every day at this point. And started off, someone bought 23 boxes at $281.86. Then we had a couple more boxes sell a few times. 6 boxes up here later in the day, another 3. So lots and lots of sales here, again, over 30 boxes. Now, one of the first cards I want to look at comes from Wings of the Captain, the Roronoa Zoro. This card was down to about $580-ish in January, and we did have a couple sales yesterday at $750. This card before yesterday, or today, I guess, whenever you're watching this video, was about, $800-ish. You had sales in the $850 range, $890 even. But these sales were a bit lower today, which I found surprising. But the general trend on this card is still upwards towards that $800 range from around $550 back in late January, early February. So keep an eye on this Zoro card. I think this probably is honestly one of the better mangas, especially from the earlier sets outside of maybe like the Luffy and the Shanks from OPO1. Next up, we have the Memorial Collection. This was a box that wasn't selling a ton, but today we did see a lot of sales, or yesterday, depending on when you're watching this. It started all the way back here. Lots of sales in that like 315, 317 range. Probably had close to 15 sales, 10, 15 sales, which is a lot for EBO1 at this price. Also the Chopper, which over the past 6 months has been climbing from around $700 closer to the $800-ish range. We did have a couple sales today, one at $854 and one at $790. So this is a legit $800-ish card on TCG Player now, which is about a 12-14% gain from middle of March this year. Next up, we have PRBO1. We do have sales cracking $300 now fairly consistently. The day rounded out with a lot of sales in that $294 range, but before then, lots of sales around $306. And even going back further, because all of these sales were from the 16th. There were a lot today for PRB01. People definitely want to get their hands on this product, and I don't blame them. Lots of great cards in here. You have the Golden Dawns. You also have this Monkey D. Luffy, which is another card I wanted to take a look at. This was up to around $1340, up from maybe like $1250 back in December. And we had a crazy sale yesterday. $1649, almost $1,650 USD. That is a very, very big outlier for this card from PRB01. A lot of that probably has to do with the 10% back sale that's going on. I don't think it's going to just instantly jump up to $1650 overall in all the markets, but it's interesting to see. There are some Golden Dawn cards too that I think are worth paying attention to. For example, this Zoro is the most expensive card. Over the past 6 months, this card's up 108%. So people really enjoy these Golden Dawn cards. And no sales, but sales up to $400 over the past week or two. I do think there is room in the future for another type of Golden Dawn card to be put into another PRB set. This was a great gimmick. The cards, like the artworks in general, are actually pretty decent for what it is for being a Dawn card. I'm a huge fan of these. I really love that Bandai thought up this idea. It's great. Huge fan. Expensive cards. It adds to the depth of PRB 01. So if you have the booster box, it's just another beneficial thing when it comes to looking at this product as a sealed investment. Now, next up, and this is going to be the last one we talk about, but we will go in depth into some of the cards because I think it's important. EBO2, the booster box is still sitting in that 180-ish range, so no real crazy updates there. You had some sales up to 190, you had some sales below 180, I think, as well today. And when we look at a lot of these cards, we are seeing these start to kind of, find their own and find their ranking. Obviously, you're going to have that Luffy manga up top. And surprisingly, still over $1,000 in most recent sales from today or yesterday, whenever you're watching this. 1302 and 1450 or 1250 rather. Someone asked me where I thought this card was going to stabilize. I said probably somewhere between like $800 and $1,000, maybe even a bit more expensive than that. I wouldn't be surprised either. So it's still in that range. I think it's good. I think if this card goes below $800, it's probably going to be considered undervalued at that point and might even be worth picking up. Anything over like 13, 14, 1500, I think at that point, like you're kind of overreaching for what this is, but that's just my opinion. The Boa Hancock, this is really one of the only expensive cards that is continuing to fall based on recent sales. Today or yesterday, we had 3 sales, 380, 380, and 375. A lot of the other ones, though, the alternate art Monkey D. Luffy is actually up to around 370. And most recent sales, we had a ton today. $446 starting there, 450, a 500, 440, 459, 410, and 419.99. So lots of sales, all over $400. Keep an eye on this card. Maybe it'll start to stabilize over 400. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I also wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being like a $200 card. Next up, we have a little waifu action. We have the Vinsmoke Rage, and this card's going for about $270-ish. And we did have one sale at $265. So right in there still. And again, guys, I just like looking at the new sets and a lot of the top cards and trying to just track them over the first week or two just to get a better idea of where things are going. We have the Luffy Leader card as well. And this is still also very expensive. We had sales on the 14th for $280 and then on the 12th for $250. So no sales today, but it is in that range, around the mid 200s. And then a couple other ones. This is a very interesting one, the Vegapunk. This is the Arada card that has the error on the type select. It's missing the E or whatever in the space. This card is climbing out the gate. So it was around $150 right after release. We're now up to around $240. And the most recent sale, this is insane, $500.98 from today. Even with a 10% back discount from TCG Player, or 13% if you're a member, whatever, that's a massive jump from $300 to $500. And you're not even paying for it if you look at the value as a $300 card. So whoever bought this, I mean, clearly they're a big fan of the card. They think it's going to do well. And being an Arada, I really do think it's going to be great, especially considering EBO2, apparently everyone thinks the pull rates are very bad on the set. I have yet to see decent data from a large sample size. And that's kind of one thing I really hope we get in One Piece is better pull rate data in the future. For Pokemon, you have TCG Player and a few other stores and people that generally do a fair amount of data, like thousands and thousands of packs to get a good idea of where things are going to go. In One Piece, it seems like we don't get that, but with these leader cards apparently being very difficult to pull, it being a gold leader, the Arada, I mean, it has all the elements to be a decently expensive card in the future. So maybe $500 is a bit ridiculous, but somewhere between like $200 and $300, like sure, it's believable. It could also be a $50 card, like who knows, but nothing really surprises me anymore. And then the final card, I really like this alternate art Nami card with the Arlong tattoo and the tangerine. It's great. Around $75, and there are lots of sales in this range, guys. We must have seen maybe like 30 or 40 sales on this card today. Very, very popular card. I believe in part it's playable. Don't quote me on that, but I think some people do use it as a playable card. It's also Nami, who's a fan favorite character and a great alternate art card throwback to like the East Blue and some of the first arcs. So great overall artwork as well. Collectors are going to enjoy it. But that's really all I wanted to cover in this video. I just wanted to show you guys that in the North American market, I guess however you want to look at it, there were a lot of moves today, lots of boxes switching hands, and that's to be expected when TCG Player does a very large sale like this. If Card Market or another site reselling platform in Europe or another part of the world does this, let me know. I will happily track it as well. But this is the big one for you North Americans watching. So we probably won't get something like this until maybe the fall or the winter, who knows. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next one.